All right.
That's really interesting. The recording message is different if you're on a mobile device.
Is it? Oh, how interesting.
Yeah, it just says recording in progress.
Does it ask you if you want to continue?
It does, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
I think
lookalike.
I've noticed the message is just different lately, so I think maybe it's,
Oh, maybe
Oh.
that's it.
Maybe it's an update.
yeah, because I noticed it was different yesterday and today that you have to click continue. I don't know, probably some legal thing.
Maybe.
All right, let's see. People joining. Randy's here.
And Cody. Hi, Cody.
Here.
I am thrilled that you're here. Welcome.
What's happening, guys?
What's up, man?
It's so nice to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Fun. Okay. Everyone here should know Cody. He was one of our SALT engineers. He's
Moved on to bigger and better things, but of course he's always welcome here.
That's right.
Love to have you. How's Texas today?
It's a little chilly, but we're doing okay.
But
We're gonna survive.
what's your definition of chilly?
You know, like 50s.
Gross.
Well, I mean, you got the humidity factor. So 50 and you know, like cloudy and windy, that could be chilly.
No, it is just there's a chill in the South. Like when it's cold, it's just there's a chill you can't escape. Like ugh.
Yeah, I think that's right. Like it's really different if you're in like Arizona or Utah or New Mexico where it's drier at 50 is fine, especially in the sun.
I travel to the South fairly regularly, and every time I come back, I just sit in a warm bath like for hours. I'm like just to like get the chill out. Like I can't. I'm so tired of being cold.
For me, it's always the Northwest or the Northeast, right? I go to those places, especially in the winter, and I'm like, I can't get warm now that I've been here.
Yeah, I'll never be warm again. All right. Well, let's get started. Welcome everybody to SALT Project's Community Open Hour. We do this every week. We're excited that you're here. I'm Janae Andress, the community manager for SALT Project. And of course, we have a whole lot of our core team. Sage, our awesome person. That's your new title.
What my title is, if that means.
No, I know you're the project manager. I've just decided you're our awesome person. And I think that should be your new title. Sage is our awesome person.
I think that we could always give me a new title and I could make cards. It'll be fun.
I like it. So Sage is the project manager for SALT, and we have a lot of the core team here as well. We will have plenty of time for questions at the end and lots of great people here to answer those questions for you. So, okay. And eventually we're going to rebrand this deck because it's old and that's my fault. Okay, priorities then. Everyone here knows. All right, so we do open hour every week and we do it to discuss requests, concerns, priorities, and highlights, all the things we're doing so that people have a line of sight into what we're doing. So this morning I was on a panel for, it was an open source event within VMware, and they were just talking to different community managers about how they optimize their open source projects. And we talked about, how important communication is. And I was able to, share with everyone that we do this weekly open hour and how effective that is. And people really liked that. It's good to have those regular cadences of communication. So you guys know where you can come to find out what's going on. We're always here. So you don't have to wonder and feel lost. So we are here every week. It's dedicated time to facilitate conversations and work together to find solutions. All right, so today we're going to do some general updates, some release updates. We'll have a Q&A, and we will remind you, of course, that the docs working group is today.
I think is it the working group or is it the clinic?
The clinic was last week.
Okay.
Right, the working group's today. I saw it and I edited it ahead of time.
I'm glad because I actually edited it too because I thought I had it right, but I guess I don't.
Well, the calendar says working group, so if the calendar's wrong, then I'm wrong, but
no, you're probably right.
Docs working group today. And then of course, we'll have the link to our SEPs. So if you want to review the existing SALT enhancement proposals, they'll be accessible. Okay. So some general updates are docs.saltproject.io is live. So that is where our docs live. So that is where to go. Our other URL redirects will go live in February. So saltproject.io, it's not live currently. You'll get a construction page under construction page if you go to it. But docs.saltproject.io is live. That is where our docs are. And yeah, stay tuned in February. We're going to have a lot of new URLs and things. So we're really excited about all the things we're gearing up for. Okay, we had a virtual meetup yesterday. We've kicked off our monthly virtual meetups, and we did that with Tom Hatch and Susan Ambiel, of course, our Tom, and then Susan Ambiel is actually VMware manager for all things open source. So she is over all the VMware has lots of different open source projects they've acquired and that they nurture and they have. So Suzanne and Tom got together yesterday, and I asked them a bunch of questions about how VMware views open source, how they manage it generally, and just VMware's perspective on open source. And Suzanne, as the person that those things all have to go through, was able to answer questions on her philosophies around open source, how they view Salt Project, how much involvement they want to have in it, and how many strings they like to pull or not. Randy was there. He asked some great questions. And anyway, so we had a really great time yesterday with our virtual meetup, and it's on YouTube. I have to click like 2 more buttons and then it will be there. So it's uploading right now. And so yeah, that's on YouTube. We have a new playlist on our SALT channel for virtual meetups. So you can go find those. We'll be doing them every month on the 3rd Wednesday of the month. So I hope you can join us. Next month, we're actually going to have, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you next week what we're going to do. Surprises. We're still ironing that out, but we have some exciting things in the works. So I'll tell you what the details of that next week. Okay, and then Salt Air is being revived, and I'm pumped about it. So you guys know we've done Salt Air in the past. It's been Tom talking about, a handful of things, and a lot of the other engineers talking about some things. So we are going to revive it, relaunch it. It's going to be pretty great. I wanted to see if Shane was on so I could tease him for some past Salt Airs, but he's not on, so I'll tease him next time. Okay, awesome. So those are kind of some general updates that we have going on. A lot of fun things happening. And we've been talking for a couple months now about this is coming, and now here we are, the virtual meetups posted, Salt Airs next month, docs.saltproject.io is live. So this is really exciting. These things are rocking and rolling. So we are excited. So Salt Project is lots of awesome things going on. Release updates. I'm gonna turn this over to Sage.
So I am announcing it here first. You will see this come later today on the security feed, the RSS security feed. We will be having a CVE release February 4th, about midday. That has actually caused quite a bit of work for the team. And so we are delaying the aluminum release. The original aluminum release was in February, the end of February. We are delaying that till the end of March. This is big news. So questions?
You heard it here first.
Concerns? Yes.
I wasn't giving Sage oxygen just before this meeting and having to share this with everyone.
So the next slide will give you the dates. These will be in the notes. And of course, we'll make sure that this is widely distributed. I will probably make sure that this is included elsewhere in some more announcements so that people see it. I realize that this can be difficult, and I am the last person that wants to delay any release. So please know that this is well thought out and vetted before we announce it here.
Sure. Okay.
The
Do we have any Okay, sounds like no questions on that. So our docs clinic is today, or sorry, our working group is today. I edited the one slide, but not the other slide. So our working group is today at 2 o'clock Mountain Time. And that will be streaming. So all the links are where they always are. The What's Happening has the link to the calendar, which is a new link as of 2021. So if you haven't updated your calendar this year, please do so.
Yeah, and with some of those, so I think originally when we did the calendar, we invited specific people to working groups like the docs working group, and you were specifically invited. And then we told people, hey, you can actually just go subscribe to this calendar and get it through Google. And we tried to do the same with Outlook. That's not going as well. And I have not invited everybody to the working groups, but I think I'm going to start with that before we make any more changes, because I think I want to not use Outlook anymore at all, because it's really not my favorite. So I'll be working towards that, and you'll see that I need to gather some emails. I have them somewhere. And so you may be seeing that. And if other people have suggestions, or if I don't get somebody on an invite that thinks they need it, please reach out to me. Let me know, because I am happy to get that updated. It may just simply be that I am out of the loop and don't know.
Yeah, Outlook is it's a little rough. So we're looking for a new solution. So we have some ideas. But yeah, that's going to adjust. So,
Yes.
so if you hate it, don't hate us. Just you're in good company. We all can hate it together, and we're gonna solve it. So
That's right. Soon.
that's what we do. We don't just complain. We solve. We're doers.
That's right.
Okay.
And we hear you that it's not working. So
Also on the docs working group, that won't be streaming on Twitch. That will just be
it'll just be Zoom.
it'll just be a Zoom, and I don't. Oh yeah, we have the Zoom meeting in there. So
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I was like, it's stream. Is it streaming? Okay.
yeah, the clinic. Yeah, we stream the clinics and but not the working groups. And
yeah, no, that
yeah,
was good.
Yeah, and today we'll be talking about stuff like the upcoming next month a docs jam that we're wanting to do in regard to a lot of awesome documentation refreshing that's going to happen as a result of work coming from Alan Kugler that is going to be just way better revisited general content on how salt works, getting to learn salt and all the things. So feel free to join and talk.
Awesome. Yeah, hopefully people will join that working group. And I'm glad that my brain is on point, because when I started to read that slide, I was like, I started to say it would be streaming, and I just sort of stopped. So I'm like, that doesn't feel right, even though it's on the slide. So now, okay, thank you for the validation, Derek.
I'll correct that before we post it.
That's good. Yeah, and that was just my bad in not editing the clinic change thoroughly.
Well, it's actually totally my fault because I had the wrong stuff. So I
was trying to take it for you, Sage.
It's okay. I was wrong all over the place, so I'll take that one. I will update.
Team effort.
Regardless, join us too. Ask
We'll take
us
credit together. We fail together. It's all a group effort. Awesome. Okay. Does anyone have questions about anything going on? Anything coming up in 2021? Anything about the delay in the release? Anything about the new repo for the docs?
Yeah. So I brought this up in the general channel. I know that Bryce, I believe you responded to it. The repo RPMs sitting in archive.repo are still pointed at repo.saltstack instead of archive.repo. So if people install those packages from the archive, it will be pointed at the incorrect location. The packages will fail to pull after that. So there may be some updated needed there just to make sure that they are pointed at the correct location, as there are still going to be people installing those packages from archive.
So part of the SEP was that we weren't going to spend time updating those. if it's preferred that we just delete them so it's not confusing, we could do that. What I'd prefer to do is just switch to .repo files because those are trivial to update rather than
Yeah.
issue new RPM. So I
Yeah.
would prefer that we just, and especially with moving to repo.saltproject.io, that's also going to require us to update them all. It's my vote that we just going forward don't use repo RPMs, but use repo files going forward because those are trivial to update.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I don't know if the other thing I'd like to bring up too is when are we with the discussion around the CV, when are we actually getting the community advisory group going? I know there was some discussion about it in previous sessions. I was just wondering what the progress was.
The advisory board or the working group, the security working group. Just want to make sure.
I believe it was the community advisory board. I think you called it, Janae.
Yes. So we don't have a specific date for that right now because we've been going through kind of so many launched shifts. We have not made progress for that in the last 2 weeks. So that kind of, we had to shelve it to address a lot of these things that we announced today. But no, I appreciate you bringing that up because that's still happening. And we're hoping to make significant progress on that in February so that we can have a board in February. So by the end of February would be like a far out line. I'd like to get that established prior to. So
Okay. All right.
That's
excellent.
one of our February priorities. Yeah. And again, if anyone has an interest in being on that board, I've heard from a couple of people and I have that noted down. And I'd love to hear from more people. If anyone is interested, the scope of that is essentially being able to bring things to us more directly, being able to have a voice when we make some decisions. As a board, you would be able to have a collective voice in a lot of the decisions that we make in governance, and taking a role, of course, in interacting with the community in various channels. So that's kind of an overview of the scope of that board. So that's something that we'll be prioritizing next month. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. I'm on Slack, or you can email me, whatever you prefer. Find me on Slack. My username is just Janae, Janae. So hit me up. We'll figure it out.
And I've also included a link to the SEP associated with creating the advisory board in the chat.
Excellent. Thanks, Derek.
Just to back up a little bit, sorry to go backwards. I did want to just mention here as we're talking about the archive and packages, I did make another channel called Salt Package Updates in SaltStack community Slack. I invited a few people that I thought would be interested in that. Please feel free to join that. It's just an open channel. We're going to start putting specific announcements there. And I'm also open to having more channels like that if needed. And something else that came up during the creation of that is that we probably need, and Slack advises to do this, that you have a channel or you have a place that kind of explains your Slack instance, like what are these channels? And really you should be able to go to the channel and look at the topic and see what it is. If that doesn't give you enough information, we could have a place that kind of guides you a little bit. I've been thinking about that. I like that idea. I would probably need some help there and would need some people from the community to also help me to develop that and make it really usable. If you're interested in that, let me know. All for that. I think that would be good, and just letting people know.
And Derek posted a link to that channel because I just went to post the link and he beat me to it. So, so that's in chat if you want to join that channel. Thanks for doing that, Sage.
Yeah. And I don't see Barney on the call, but I know Barney was really interested in starting another working group that had to do with security, and I'm really interested in that. But of course, time is just not on my side, and I will talk to him about that again on the side and see if we can get that going. I think there's another working group that we're also interested in creating that's like a SALT Kubernetes working group. That's kind of been driven more by us and the core team, that we would like to have that. And we would love to have that within the community. If the community's not interested, it may not happen, but and that's fine. We've kind of let those grow a little bit more organically. And I think that works for us. So letting it happen that way.
I wonder if Kubernetes could be part of the cloud working group that could give more material for that, because I know they've been running out of material for those meetings.
That's a great suggestion. I know I was just talking with Nick on the side last week, and we were going to put the cloud on pause since they didn't have a lot going on, and people weren't joining, and I thought that's fine. I'll suggest that.
Are there any other questions?
Oh, go ahead, Cody.
Oh, sorry. I was looking for, and I don't know if it still exists. I can't find it anywhere on the website. Do we still have the Google Calendar maintained of all of the different dates and times for things?
Yeah, so we just changed that link. And so it changed in January. Do you get I can post that in the chat what the updated link is.
Okay. Is there someplace that folks who would not be on one of these calls will be able to find that? Because I was digging around and I couldn't find it. Maybe there's
in the what's happening. It's in the what's happening every week.
Okay.
So
I think it's also linked from the community.saltstack.com. I don't know if it's linked from anywhere else.
I looked in there.
I don't think it is there. So we had several changes in like the last
the
2
meetups
months.
are listed, but
yeah, and those haven't been updated. I probably need to update them there, and they're going to get migrated as we move over to the SALT project.io.
okay.
And it's manually updated right now, so it's something I simply haven't gotten to.
I don't know about anybody else, but that's been a great help to just have it in a normal calendar, and I can go, oh, everything's here, the Twitch streams and the Zooms and everything, right?
Yeah, and it's we moved over from Google into Outlook, and like we were talking about in the beginning, it's not linked in that site, and it's not very good. So I kind of want to look at a plugin or something else there. I want to do something else that's better, because I liked what we had before, and that was working really well. And right now that's not working. So I will make something work. But it's definitely not going to be like a calendar that you put into your Google, like a Google Calendar today. But that's one of the options to go back to.
That would be nice. As a feed we
worked
can
so
all subscribe
well.
to. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, H.
But you're welcome.
Yeah, and then Derek, did you have something?
I just wanted to agree with what Randy was saying about the Kubernetes with the cloud group, just because I know that Tyler and who else is in that group? I only attended 1 or 2 of them, but that since they have item experience too, because they were working on item Azure and item AWS, that it seemed like that'd be a good group, because I could imagine Kubernetes focus being on a new item tool rather than attempting to expand or extend the built-in SALT, probably really outdated Kubernetes module. But I don't know, it kind of depends on, it just seems like that'd be a good combo, because then you'd have people who are experienced with making item tooling, and then people who are experienced with Kubernetes coming together.
That's a really good point. And something that I haven't figured out yet, and Janae, maybe you know this, is that a lot of VMware open source people are involved heavily in Kubernetes, and we would love to just let them know that we have this working group. They're welcome to join. We would love to have their knowledge if they wanted to contribute. And I'm just not sure who to ask, I guess. So we'll figure that out.
I do know who to ask. So.
Perfect.
No, this is great. This is really great, because we do have a really strong Kubernetes community connected with us now through VMware. And I feel like, yeah, this is a really great little marriage of ideas. So I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. So yeah, I'm going to make a point of kind of reaching out and seeing if we want to get some other engineers involved in the cloud working group, if we're going to be taking that focus.
Yeah. I think that's great. Maybe we'll even keep that time. I don't know if that time works for a lot of people. It happens in the late evening East Coast time. I think it's 6 East Coast time. So it's, I'm not sure that is a good time for anybody that's across the pond. So I would love to, as we look at changing that, if there's people that are interested in attending that time doesn't work for them, speak up, let us know. And I encourage that. I've actually tried to encourage that for most of these. It's why they kind of all happen in the morning. It's a good time. But I think that also garners more support and it garners more interest. So we want that to be possible and to be available to more people.
Yeah, we definitely want to keep that open to change, especially as we grow that working group. So, and Sage said it perfectly, just speak up if it's a problem. So Gary said in the chat that it's not an ideal time. So we'll definitely stay open to that shift.
Yeah. And I know that as the captain, so right now it was Nick, I think that's what worked for him. And so that's where that stood. But of course, as we make changes, Nick does not need to be the captain. It could be somebody else and we could look at that. And we really would love for that to be community driven and the captain to be somebody within the community that we get to work closely with. And so if there's an interest, we would love to hear from you.
Well, and of course, Nick is even more than just part of the community. He's our community champion last year.
He's amazing. Yep,
yeah.
He's amazing. So, yeah.
Go ahead. I was gonna have a quick question. And I don't, maybe it's been posted somewhere or maybe I haven't looked hard enough, but is there anywhere where you guys publish all of these working groups and kind of who's doing them along
there
with
is.
times?
So there is.
I
And
think it would be really good to get in front of the community because, at
yeah,
least we could get more interest that way too.
It's a GitHub repo. So it's saltstack/community. And I am just going to come right out and say it. In order to update the README, you have to run salt and build the docs. So it prevents me from making updates to the README because it's cumbersome. So I was actually talking to Derek about that today, and I thought that was just a little bit complicated. Not sure that that's giving us any value. And I don't know that that's the right place. I actually would like to rethink that and think that needs to be on our website.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, I thought that was like setting the bar, so you had to get salt users in to the community.
No, I
agree.
can't
Find it.
I agree. Putting it on the site would be fruitful. I think just getting it in front of people, especially people as they're coming into the community and beginning to use Salt for the first time. If they have specific areas they want to focus on, they're going to see those working groups and try to head towards them.
Yes.
Yeah, Randy, you see a lot of heads bobbing for a reason because we all have talked about this and completely agree with you. And I love that you're bringing this up because it's something I feel really strongly about, especially putting it on the site, making it very accessible so people can see really clearly, because I don't want it to feel like, well, if you're not in, you're not in. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't know about the group or, I want it to be very, here are the groups, here's when they are, here's how to become a part of them and make that very accessible.
Yeah,
absolutely. We have talked about it being at the single source of truth for all things community, and that is what we're working towards. Unfortunately, we're not fast. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think that migration to a community page on our website would be, I'm also on board with that idea, because if our meeting notes for each of these working groups were instead going into like a blog post, let's say, into a feed, that would make a lot more sense than we kind of have some sporadic markdown files. And like Sage said, there's some difficult directions on how to update the repo, and you have to kind of find the repo because it's not straightforward where that's located. And
among all our many
among our
repos,
many
right?
ones, yeah. And same with and I think that the same thing could probably be said for our wiki there. Is I think we've also had discussions on kind of like, what should we be doing with that? Should those
Right.
be posted instead also to a community blog about what's happening this week, for example? And,
Right.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
didn't have that ability with the platform that we had in, let's see, like last year, early in the year, and then most of the year. And so we actually moved so that we could do that. And then everything sort of exploded with our announcement of moving to VMware. And so there were just many more changes. So the reason that repo hasn't been updated is because I would like to update it once and make it be like, okay, now everything's either on the community site, or I've updated it to just have a minimum amount until we can move it. And really make that single source of truth on the website, so that you guys everybody knows where to go. They start going to saltproject.io, they can find everything easily. That, I think that's a standard, right?
And that's also the other piece is we're migrating. We have a lot of stuff going on post acquisition, especially with the migration of Salt Project to saltproject.io. Not necessarily just domain name, but also the platforms we're using to host the site and the content. So there's been a lot of moving pieces going on.
Yeah, and we're one team.
Yeah, and this is kind of making me realize that we've talked a lot about the fact that we're migrating the site. We've talked a lot about, saltproject.io coming up. We talked about this earlier in open hour that, these URLs are going to be live soon. And I don't think that we took a minute to explain what that means when it's live, that it's not just, the community page maybe as it was before. It's not just, a website with a few things. Like, we're really making an effort to make this a single source of truth, like Sage said, to make this the place to go. It's been incredibly important to each of us, and each of us feels individually very passionately about having just one place where people can go to find all the things. So to say it as simply as possible. What was that?
Yeah, like you're talking about like explaining the importance of this transition and what this is going to mean for the pages and layout and availability of information. I mean, you could make that a sort of blog post of itself and kind of explain to the community.
Absolutely. And that's a great idea. So we, and I really like that you're asking these more granular questions, because it's making me realize that we're just kind of, I'm being a little broad and saying, oh, this website's coming and I know what that means. Maybe we're not explaining clear enough. The website's coming and it will have all these great things on it so that we'll be able to access all of this and make things so much more accessible. We are, like you said, Randy, how do people get involved from a beginner standpoint? It's been very enlightening to us with being acquired by VMware and having so many VMware engineers suddenly super interested in being involved in Salt and contributing to Salt and being users and all these things, that it's making us really look closely at our beginners experience and the accessibility. So we're pretty excited about revamping a lot of this, making things just a lot more accessible, and not having like, well, here's this repo and here's this link and here's whatever, but here's the site where you can find all of it. And so we are working very hard on it, and it's something we're actively moving forward. We're meeting on multiple times a week, really driving forward. And I apologize that we haven't been more transparent about the details. We've just been so excited about it. And so, yeah, that is very much coming down the pipeline. And we would love continued feedback as we do launch it on maybe what's missing, what links should we also include, what else should we be highlighting? And like, maybe we're highlighting something that isn't as important to people. Like maybe you have to dig a little bit to find the working groups, but then the podcast is highlighted and you maybe want that reversed. And so we'd love to hear feedback. Everyone's going to have different feedback. So we can't, we're not going to change it with every comment, but we'd love to hear what it's like once it's launched, and make sure that it really is an excellent resource for everybody and serving that purpose. So these are really great questions. Good discussion. Mark said that is making comments about the site and would like to see a short landing page where important links can be easily seen. Yeah, that's a good one, like some quick links, probably.
So I have a long history in my career of doing websites, not for community. This is actually my first time working with open source in my job, but I have a long history of working with websites, and we have a lot of people on our team with a lot of history with this, and we have a lot of really great ideas. And so yes, there's a lot of things that we're not doing today that we're trying to move forward with doing as many of them as we can at once. And unfortunately, that's making us slower, but I think that it's also going to be a lot better. We will have something that's more unified and really that single source of truth.
Derek asked in the chat about the store. There will be some changes to the store. That timeline is being hammered out because of those changes. So I'm not able to be as granular about that right now. But for now and for a little while, it will continue to be store.saltstack.com, and it is still active. It will be completely rebranded, relaunched soon, but definitely 100% until the end of January, maybe a little longer, but definitely till the end of January. You can still get all the SaltStack things at store.saltstack.com. And yeah, and then they're going to be going away, right? Because we're taking away all the SaltStack branded stuff. So we're actually going to, I'll be putting an announcement. I think we're doing it next week. We're going to be just slashing all the prices so the community can just go grab all the swag. So if you want to clean up on some SaltStack swag, keep an eye out for that announcement. But it will still be store.saltstack.com. So. And hack swag, yes, it's still in SaltStack store. So, and we're gonna have some pretty sweet swag. Actually, if anyone wants to chime in the chat or chime in here on swag you'd like to see going forward for Salt Project, we're in the middle of ramping up on what we're going to be offering in our Salt Project store. So if anyone wants to chime in, like, what do you want to see in the store?
So I will tell you, this hat, which I know it says SaltStack, but we could have one that says Salt Project, but the white with the black, I get a ton of people that are like, where did you get that hat? I want one. In fact, I've even thought about using it for something. Anyway, it would benefit the community, and I would totally give it in exchange for something.
Ooh.
Like a hosted Slack instance that upgraded our Slack from free. I would do that. I even know who I would send it to. Anyway, but I get a lot of compliments on this hat, and I just know people like it. So a little bit of feedback.
Love it.
I love it.
As you can see from my avatar, obviously, I also enjoy the hats.
Hats, baby
Definitely.
clothes. I love it. The baby onesies.
I didn't think of that. Oh man,
I love the salt call feed.me. In the back says master.
That's really funny. Beer openers.
I love it. Love it.
I love the beer openers idea. We could do like a oh, what's a good one? Just, you know, you do those little dishes when you do like the margarita salt, your salt tray.
Love it.
Let's see. Okay, so Gary said baby clothes also would definitely put his toddlers in salt swag. Guys, I'm still recovering from, I don't know if anyone else knows this, but we did years ago, we did this like design, like it was one of our older SaltStack designs, right? And we did a bunch of kids shirts, and then we just like ended up not really distributing them. And
I have many.
Okay, yeah. So we like gave out some, but holy cow, we had a whole cabinet in the office of like kid shirts. So I gave them out for Halloween around the office, like the kids that, you know, came to the office to trick or treat. I just had them all at my desk, and I was the kid shirt lady at the desk. And I just felt like I could not get rid of them enough. I was constantly like, for Valentine's Day, we put them out again for everybody. And anyway, it was just all the things. And then we went remote. But man,
Yeah.
I just was like, someone take these kid shirts, and they're gone now. But yeah,
I think
so
if
that
they
no
were
part of
on
me
the
was like,
store,
more
yeah.
kid shirts.
I
It'd be
think if
fine in
they-
the store.
if they had been on the store, I think more people would have seen them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, when I started, I took a set for my kids, and I thought, I was told I couldn't take more. And then I stole some more.
Good.
I would have stolen even more if I could have. But I also really like Randy's idea of a cozy or a coolie, that holds your drink. I use those a lot. I would love one that said Salt Project. I think that's a great
Okay,
idea.
that's good to know, because I never know how popular the koozies are. Those are good. And yeah, I'm 100% down for kids shirts. I just wanted to, share my comments so we could all heal together.
Can all heal together. Like I said, though, I thought they weren't for the taking.
They weren't before, because there was a plan with them, and that plan fell through. And anyway, but yeah, so then
I
I just
gotcha.
gave them
Oh,
out
I
for-
gotcha.
My
But-
children love their salt stack shirts.
It's my daughter's favorite shirt. She loves her salt stack shirt. It's so cute.
And especially after meeting Mo and the snack closet, my kids are like, I want to work at Salt Stack.
Ah, that's
So
all you need.
if
Yeah.
you
Mine.
have, right, if you never had been to our office that used to exist in Lehigh, Utah, we had a snack closet,
Huge.
and it was pretty great, and it got a lot of compliments. And Mo's daughter actually reorganized it at one point, so that was very interesting.
Yeah, we had a speakeasy with beer and a tap.
That's awesome. Yep. So yeah,
Awesome.
my kids would come and be like, "Can I go to the snack closet?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah, go to the snack closet."
That is pretty good. I like Megan's suggestion of doing a shirt that says, "What would Gareth do?" on the back. Hashtag Giphy.
Giphy.
Or slash Giphy.
Yes.
That's about right. That's pretty great. Okay, so baby clothes, hats, camelbacks, beer openers, koozies, shirts, socks. Socks are on my list for sure. So Tom recently opened a restaurant, or is invested, he's funding it, whatever. Anyway, but he's part of a restaurant opening, and he's very excited about being a restaurateur now. And so we went to this opening, and I thought I was just going to go be supportive and eat alone, and I go to the restaurant by myself, and like all these different, all the salt engineers are there. I'm like, oh, I don't have to eat alone. It's so fun to see everybody. And we wore our masks until we ate, but like it was so funny because someone mentioned socks, and I think it was Tyler. He was like, oh yeah, I'm wearing my salt stack socks right now. And I was like, me too. And we both like all had, like showing our feet, like, look, we're matching socks. So that was fun. The salt stack socks are pretty sweet. So we definitely will be doing some of those. Let's see, cute girl tank tops, men tank tops. Do men like tank tops? Some men do.
Stickers, of course, are always good.
Mhm.
Stickers. Oh yes, Burgers and Barley is the name of the restaurant.
Yeah, I remember now.
Burgers and Barley in American Fork, Utah. So pretty good. I've had the Aloha burger twice. I don't even like bacon, but like this burger is so good.
You don't like bacon?
Wait,
Are you
what?
human?
What?
I know, I'm the
Are
one
you a
person.
human?
Like,
Wow.
there is one of us.
That was the day that the salt community revolted.
Yeah, I think we need to open a SEP about that.
How are we going to get Janae to like bacon? Whoa,
I know.
that's going to be open for a while.
Oh, that's funny. I just don't understand it. I saw a thing on the internet one time that said, there's a lot of division in the world and things we disagree on, but at least we can just all agree on bacon. And I was like, do I say something? Keep scrolling.
It's like one of those things I feel you should just, it's safer to keep it to yourself.
Yeah, now I really regret letting that slip out just now. Yes, no, I also love bacon.
Well, I
I'm gonna get
won't tell
crucified
people
in
this.
Slack.
Yeah, I don't usually tell people this, but I will say that I have an affinity not for bacon, but for salt pork. I am salty.
Nice.
That comes back to when I used to backpack in the snow for days on end for my job. So, there was a reason for it.
That's funny. Someone at VMware said to me yesterday, they said, you know, my doctor told me to reduce my salt consumption, but I'm upping my salt consumption. I was like, nice.
It's funny.
Because they were getting all into salt. So that was fun.
There you go. We can create a book of dad jokes about salt, and that could be.
Oh yeah.
Right? I can't put the t-shirt about assault underwear in the store, unfortunately.
No. But it was
Although
a very
that was a good open hour.
That's a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
But closed captioning fails for the win. That was good stuff.
Wasn't there a mug design that was being talked about before with quotes? I can't.
Tom's quotes.
Yes, it's oh, is it oops. Oh, hold on. I have it. 1 second.
Because it makes me think that of like something else that would just have all the dad jokes on a mug.
Okay,
Book of
so we
Tomisms, basically.
We should
Ooh.
just have a page that's available for people to update with memes and jokes.
Jane suggested PJs, and now I want to do like pajama pants, like salt pajama pants, because everyone just wears whatever pants anyway now, remote.
Well, yeah, you know, when it comes to swag, there's you need to have the full set, right? Shirt, socks, pajama pants aren't there, so maybe that.
Right? Work from
You have
home
a
wear.
hat already.
I just want to say I'm
Also
really
in
glad
good
that I
size.
happened to be wearing bottoms today because I had to stand up to get that mug, and I was like, oh man.
Oh, geez.
My doormat says, like, hang on, we're probably not wearing pants. That's what my doormat says.
So something that we haven't mentioned, and I don't think we've ever offered, but I don't know why, is some salt and pepper shakers, because hello.
Oh, yeah.
You could
That's
totally do
brilliant.
the salt logo, right? Or the salt
I'm
project.
so
logo.
glad I asked this question. You guys have the best ideas. Okay,
Yeah,
the Tom mug, or the Tom, so we have this, I'm just gonna shamelessly brag that I designed this and I'm super proud of it. And anyways,
Yay!
right, I don't do a lot of design, you guys, so just roll with it. Anyway, it's a cork bottom, like, tumbler. Now this is funny because this was a misprint. That's why I have this. They did a test run and they didn't put it, so they split Tom's face. They didn't bring the design all the way around. So this is a missed one. They'll do it right. But anyway, so we have this cool cartoon of Tom and then all his quotes on it in different fonts and stuff.
What's your favorite quote?
You could have that in the store. You can have that in the store, a book of Tomisms.
Oh yeah, our Hatchisms.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Hatchisms. I love it.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. So this we'll get this in the store for sure. I'm really excited about this.
Is I saw one of the quotes is just "get out."
Yes.
Get out. It's very
Get
funny.
out. I like to say this. My favorite one is when he said the Black Plague was very successful. I was like, what? He was talking about the banana problem. And I was just like, dude, you can't say that.
Oh, Tom.
So we'll definitely have hack swag, Shane, for sure. Love the hacks.
Something that we've had in the past at Salt Confs that I've been to in person, we had like a deck of cards that were branded, and
Yes.
I have seen like bandanas.
Ooh, bandanas would be pretty.
I would buy those.
Also, we're gonna do beanies. I
Cool.
just sort of charaded it and like these.
Beanies.
So of course we'll do like the Richardson trucker hats. Like I love those. So why are bandanas popular? I need to know.
Well, at least in the current climate, they work really well as
Oh,
masks.
it's a mask. You're right.
As a mask. So my husband still carries a handkerchief everywhere he goes. He doesn't use Kleenexes.
Classy.
And so my kids do.
Or if you're
Okay.
robbing a stagecoach, you know, those are handy.
And for robbing stagecoaches.
You know how moms like lick their fingers and clean their kids' faces. You know, my husband gets out his disgusting hanky, and I'm always like, "Don't touch anybody with that. That's gross."
Oh man.
It is actually clean usually, but ugh.
Megan's being super trendy and saying bandanas are lit. Funny.
They'd be used here, that's for sure.
I like how she added in the chat. I think that's how the young people say that.
Is it
I love
woke?
Megan. Woke. I have yet to use that one. But
So the surest way to, you know, get something to not be used by your kids is to start saying it. So that's what I do.
and that's why you should swear around your children. I'm just kidding.
It's super effective, trust me.
Super.
Good parenting.
Yep. Yep.
Funny. Just kidding. Awesome. These are great ideas. I love it. This is very helpful because I just had the meeting the other day of going through everything we wanted in the store. And now I'm going to call them and be like, I have more thoughts. Okay, this is great. Any other last minute suggestions before I move on from swag? Okay, because it's important that our swag is good. That's the first thing I told them. They said, what kind of swag do you want? And I said, good swag. And I'm not saying that casually, like we do quality stuff at Salt. Like the last thing I want is a community member sending me an email like, my pen sucks and it's a Salt pen. I'm going to be like, yeah. So good pens.
I'm looking forward to that Salt logoed PS5. Yeah.
Quality. Do some good posters. We need to get some new, like, you know, fun phrases and things to make some adjustments. So because we have all those old ones about Salt and gotta be careful about
I really want to go buy a lathe so I can start turning some Salt pens.
Key motivational
awesome.
posters with Tom saying or half sayings on them. There you go.
I love that. I really love that. That'd be really funny. Decorate people's home offices with hatchisms.
Love it. Yeah, I would so I actually use both pens and pencils for different reasons. I would love pencils. That's something we don't always have around.
I love pencils.
Branded pencils, because I like to use a pencil sometimes, actually a lot. We won't
Are
go
Sage
into
and I
why.
the only weirdos that use pencils? Anyone else ever use a pencil? Because
They better be Ticonderogas.
So I actually prefer to have a mechanical pencil, but I'll use the Ticonderoga #2 when I can get my hands on a good one.
Gary, he's like, I don't even know what a pen or pencil is.
Yeah, do you mean a stylus? Was that what you're talking about?
Well, I have a few of those too.
Right. There's the, you know, the pens with the little stylus at the end of it. Those are
right.
pretty handy. I like those.
I love those.
We
I
had
probably have one.
at one of our trade shows last year, we had another company, like one of their boxes ended up with our stuff and I contacted them. They didn't want it. And anyway, and there's a huge bag of little pens in it and they're all the stylus ones. So I just use them as styluses all the time.
I like those.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to need to wrap up here. I think Cody had to go too. But we're at time. So no, I really appreciate everyone chiming in. Thank you guys so much for just being awesome. We love our community. It's been really fun for me being able to connect with other community managers lately and discuss what we're doing. And everyone's really excited about what we're doing in particular. Like Salt stands out. We're a really unique and awesome community. And that's all because of you guys. So really appreciate all of you. If you do want to check out the current SEPs, the link is here. It's in the slides. And I'll get that to you. So
Yes, just
thank
really,
you, everybody. Yeah, go ahead.
really quickly, there is a new SEP out there that Shane authored. Please check that out. And also we have, it's still live right now, a Google form to submit for agenda items, although I'm terrible at looking at that. Just like we've been saying, I'd like to put a place on the website where you can make suggestions for agenda items. And please do, if I have not seen your request and I'll go look at it today, but please also know that you can contact Janae and I for anything. We could even take up the whole time on something if we think that it warrants that. We would love to hear from you about agenda items that you want to hear about.
Absolutely. Open hour is your hour. It's open, you might say.
Yes.
So we want to hear from you.
But of
All
course, questions, always welcome.
I have a Snell joke when we're ready.
All right. I'm ready for a joke to wrap this up.
So if you make a suit of armor out of gastropods, then you would have snail mail.
Like chainmail, but snail mail. Oh
my
man,
God.
Wayne.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Man, you and I are gonna have to talk later. That was just bad.
I think that's the point. Well, on that note, happy Thursday, everyone. Thank you for
All
joining.
right. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your week. Bye.